The story starts with the famous lawyer of America, Julian Mantle. He was very rich, with a 7-figure income, a luxurious mansion to live in, a private jet, and a very beautiful red Ferrari. These are the materialistic things a middle-class person can think of to live happily. He had all those things. Still, he had no satisfaction. He used to work 18 hours a day. Because of this, he started looking like 70 at the age of 50, and one day suddenly he got a heart attack and fell on the court floor. He was admitted to the ICU, and due to timely treatment, he survived. But after looking at his condition, the doctor suggested that he had to choose only one thing, either stressful work or his life. After hearing this, Julian fell into deep thought. He had been winning all the cases his whole life, but he had lost the case of his own life. Slowly, he started to understand all his mistakes. One morning, he made a big decision. He sold his mansion, private jet, and also his red Ferrari. And after selling all these things to understand the purpose of life without telling anyone, he went to Shivana, the village of Siddha yogis, nestled in the high hills of the Himalayas. Shivana is a peaceful place, far from the dust, smoke, and noise of the cities. There is only peace and greenery all around. There he met Yogi Raman. Although Yogi Raman was more than 100 years old, he looked youthful, as if he knew some magic. Yogi Raman met Julian, and after seeing his dedication, promised to teach him the principles of Shivana's systems. These 7 principles Yogi Raman shared with Julian in the form of a story. Imagine you're sitting in a beautiful garden near a sea, which is full of colorful flowers and trees. And you see that there is a lighthouse in that garden, and suddenly a sumo wrestler gets out of that lighthouse. That sumo wrestler is simply wearing a red nappy tied with a wire. That sumo wrestler found a watch, which may be forgotten by someone many years ago. When that sumo wrestler bends to pick up that watch, then he slips and falls, and then faints. After some time, he woke by the scent of flowers, and he sees around where he found a way made up of small pieces of diamond in the bushes. Without wasting any time, he started walking on that road, and he disappeared from your eyes. And by this line, Yogi Raman's story ended. Friends, Julian also does not understand this story like you. That's why Julian said to Monk what type of joke it is, because there is no sense in this story. This is not a normal story. Every element of this story is an important virtue. That can give every answer of life if it is understood. And I will tell you all these virtues one by one. And Monk started telling those 7 principles. The garden. The garden in the story represents your mind. What happens when someone spreads some dust and makes noise? Then the peace of this garden will vanish. The garden will become dirty, and it will be of no use. In the same way, if your minds are filled with tension, useless thoughts, and useless knowledge, then you will never be happy. So think like a gardener who always keeps the garden clean. What will come in it, what will go, and how to keep that clean. All these things are cared for by a gardener. You have to stand like a watchman near the door of your mind, and you have to stop entering any useless news and gossip. The lighthouse. Yogi Raman tells Julian that the second thing that had come in this story was the lighthouse. The work of the lighthouse is to give away to ships during the night in the sea. If there is no lighthouse, then ships can get damaged by colliding with rocks in the night. So the lighthouse symbolizes the purpose of your life. If you won't know the purpose of your life, then you will go astray in your life, and you will be scattered by the rocks of troubles. But if you have some clear vision, some purpose, then you won't go astray. You will consume specific knowledge, you will talk about your work, and you will be focused. Find your purpose and go ahead by taking small steps. The sumo wrestler. Julian, you have seen a big sumo wrestler, which represents the Japanese philosophy Kaizen, which means unstoppable improvement or progress. To build a huge body, any sumo wrestler has to follow a continuous specific diet and process. In the same way, you also make yourself better and improve a little bit every day. By doing little things daily, you can achieve a big result in your life. Then many people will say they don't have time to learn anything. Then Yogi Raman says this type of busy people is like the same that a person is as much busy in driving that he has no time to fill the petrol. So don't make stupid decisions like this for short-time benefits, and improve yourself mentally and physically every day, and read the books. The red cable. Yogi Raman tells, "Next, Julian, you may have remembered that wrestler had worn a thin nappy. That was tight around his waist with a rope. Julian, the thin thread of this rope is weak, but when it is joined together, then it becomes very strong. In the same way, your self-control is made from the small things that you do in your daily life, like waking up early in the morning, eating natural food, using a ladder instead of a lift. Maybe you think, what difference will these little things make? But in reality, these little things matter much in our life. You won't see the difference in these little things, but in the long term, these small things will make a big difference in your life. You need to understand that discipline is like a rope that is made with little threads of courage. The golden watch. After understanding these four elements, Julian asked that monk, what is the meaning of that golden watch? The sumo wrestler who fell while lifting. Then monk tells that the fifth principle of this story is related to the golden watch. Monk tells Julian that any person lives in India, New York, or Dubai. They all have only 24 hours in a day. Neither anyone has 1 minute more, nor does anyone have 1 minute less. But still you will think you have a lot of time, and you will be postponing the work. But one day when you will realize whatever time you had is gone, and by then the wrestler of ability inside you must have fallen on the ground on his face. So you have to remember by this watch that you have time only today, and start living your life in the present. Don't postpone the work. Set your priority and finish your work one by one. The rose, monk tells the story further, sumo, lying unconscious, comes to his senses by the scent of flowers, and those flowers represent kindness and selflessness. A popular proverb in China says that those who give flowers to others often leave the scent of flowers in their hands. No matter how much money you make, you will never get that satisfaction that a person gets by helping another person. You are the violence of humanity, and it is our responsibility that we take humanity forward. Helping others in things will make you happy from the inside, so you should also help others as much as possible. The path of diamond. In the end, Yogi tells, Julian, have you remembered when a sumo wrestler wakes up with his full energy? Then he sees a path decorated with small pieces of diamonds. These diamonds are nothing but the moments of your life which give you a lot of happiness. Maybe this moment is a day spent by you with your children in the park, or it may be the quality time spent by you with your partner, or something else. These moments can be anything, but always remember this thing, that moment will give you happiness in the future, when you have lived those memories today. Never sacrifice your happiness for your achievement. If you want to live happily, then live it today. Whatever things you have today, cherish that little thing, because that little is the most costly diamond of your life. That can't be replaced by any wealth in the world. So live your present with happiness as much as possible. First, your mind is like a garden. You will get what you sow. So stay far from the people who create negativity and drama in your life, because what consumes your mind controls your life. Second, like the ships can collide with rocks at night without the lighthouse, in the same way, your life can disintegrate by colliding anywhere without any purpose. Find the purpose of your life and continue to move forward in the same direction. Third, follow Kaizen like the sumo wrestler and make unstoppable improvement and progress as a part of your life. Fourth, like the rope becomes strong by small threads, the same way your character is built by your small habits. That's why you should even do little work properly and with manner. Fifth, remember, no matter how intelligent you are, if you avoid your work regularly, one day the wrestler inside you will fall on your face. So give importance to the time and what type of life you want to live and what work you want to do. Start it from today. Sixth, like that flower, you're also a part of humanity. So continue this chain of helping each other. Seventh, that path made with small pieces of diamonds is nothing but happy moments in your life that you have spent in the present with your loved ones. And that is the real wealth that gives you the potential to live. Friends, this interesting story I have learned from Robin Sharma's book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Believe that you will learn more than these 7 points from this book. So I will advise you that you must read this book once. Thank you.